Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Now, last week, you guys have, followed me with these videos. I did a story about two New Orleans teenagers that died tragically after they were hit by some people running from the police after stealing some shit out of a store. Or a bunch of stores. Now, if you remember this woman right here, Jonica Smooth, or Jonique Smooth, or whatever, 31-year-old idiot. Woman has a lengthy history of stealing out of stores or theft. Been incarcerated a couple times because of it. Did prison time. But a lot of people, are repeat offenders, and, they do what they do. But these two young ladies you see over here, right? Samaj Morris, age 17, and Giselle Smith, may they rest in peace. Both were seniors at West Jefferson High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. Shout out. And they tragically lost their life. I'm going to show you this update, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Another breaking situation we are following right now. One of the suspects charged in a crash that killed two teenagers just made a court appearance about an hour ago. Jonica Smooth faces manslaughter charges.
Yeah, this comes as we're learning more about the two West Jefferson High School students who were killed in that crash. And right now, the older sister here of one of the victims is still fighting for her life in the hospital. We have team coverage on this, but we are going to begin with Cassie Sherm, who's live for us at the courthouse with the latest on this hearing. Cassie.
That's right, guys. So what we know so far is Smooth's bond was set at more than $600,000 for being the driver of that car. Now take a look at your charges that Smooth faces right now. She's looking at charges of 2 counts of manslaughter, 1 count of negligent injury, a hit and run, and flight from an officer. Now Smooth has a history of theft in Jefferson Parish with a criminal record dating back to 10 years. She has served 3 prison sentences for theft, according to online court records. Smooth has also been convicted of theft in 2014 and 2015, but details regarding those thefts were not made available. Now, a second suspect identified is 37-year-old Lisa Herring. Now, she was booked on shoplifting charges. Herring has a criminal history of prostitution, according to court records. Now, investigators say there were multiple people in that vehicle. They are still looking for those other people who were in that car, and the investigation continues. Reporting here at Criminal Court, I'm Cassie Sherm. Back to you.
And Cassie, this all comes as we're learning more about the two high school seniors who were killed in that crash. 17-year-olds Giselle Smith and Samaj Morris all went to West Jefferson High School. They were considered outstanding young women.
Yeah, and both sets of parents mourning the loss of their daughters. WDSU reporter Shay O'Connor spoke to the family about their loss and has more on what they're going through. Shay?
So I spoke with the families of both teens, both very shaken up, both very devastated. They tell me this all happened too quickly. We have found out the names of the two teens. That's 17-year-old Giselle Smith and also her good friend, 17-year-old Samaj Morris. Now, Giselle's older sister, Paris Kuiper, we're told was the driver of the vehicle. Family says she is showing progress but still in critical condition. Samaj Morris's family declined to release a picture of the teen today. They did say the girls were in that area where the crash happened because Morris needed to pick up a school project. Apparently that project was due the next morning at school. Now, they were leaving, headed home, when police say they were hit by the vehicle carrying the shoplifting suspects who were first spotted here near Lakeside Mall. Family members tell me they question why a chase even ensued, given the nature of the crime. Security expert Mike Kahn says in New Orleans, a chase is based on what type of crime is committed.
New Orleans has a no chase policy unless it's an aggravated felony that you can identify. Even in that point, then you notify the dispatcher, you notify your rank. The rank will ask certain questions about that chase. What are you chasing them for? What are the conditions of the road?
Now, JPSO deputies tell us that the chase lasted for under a minute as they were approaching Orleans Parish before it was canceled. Of course, this complete situation is under investigation, and we will continue to keep you updated. Reporting live from Jefferson Parish, Shay O'Connor, WDSU News.
WDSU has obtained new video showing the moment the alleged shoplifter's vehicle went airborne, crashing into a second vehicle. That crash ultimately took the lives of two high school students, Samaj Morris and Giselle Smith. WDSU reporter Jonah Gilmore has that new footage. And Jonah, you found out the alleged serial shoplifter started hours before the suspects ended up at Lakeside Mall.
Gina, that timeline we're learning about, including an alleged shoplifting incident at Saks Fifth Avenue. Today, we're also seeing the moments before that crash, killing those two high school students. 31-year-old Janika Smooth is now facing charges for allegedly shoplifting on the afternoon of December 11th, hours before deputies say she caused a deadly crash. A manager with Saks Fifth Avenue tells WDSU a woman acted as a lookout while Smooth took 6 Gucci scarves valued at least $3,500. According to police, those women struck again hours later, this time reportedly shoplifting from Lakeside Mall.
An off-duty deputy observed the suspects leaving the mall and get into a red SUV.
Jefferson Parish deputies say they spotted their vehicle and initiated a chase. A spokesperson says the chase was called off just 1 minute later near the Jefferson-Orleans Parish line.
The suspects in this vehicle continued to drive completely out of control and caused the crash at this intersection.
This video obtained by WDSU shows that crash unfold at 7:35 Wednesday night. You can see that SUV exiting at St. Bernard at a high speed before hitting the median and going airborne before crashing. Two teenagers, 17-year-old Giselle Smith and Samaj Morris, were killed in the crash. Giselle's 21-year-old sister Paris was also hurt.
To lose two precious lives like that over just a couple of $100s worth of clothing is just absolute unacceptable.
This video also shows what WDSU confirmed are JPSO deputies exiting about 40 seconds later with no emergency lights, driving at low speeds.
All the units involved in the pursuit turned off their overhead lights and we're progressing down here to St. Bernard Avenue, which is the first available exit.
Other angles of the video show law enforcement vehicles driving down a nearby street. According to police, those vehicles were driving to the area they believe Smoot and the other suspects were headed. New Orleans police has only identified 2 women they say were inside that vehicle. The victims' families say they want everyone involved held accountable.
That's why there is such a thing as justice, and it ought to be served.
Now, as for the incident we learned about today, New Orleans police officials tell us an arrest warrant could be on the way for the other woman seen in that video at Saks Fifth Avenue. Reporting live near 610 and St. Bernard Avenue, Jonah Gilmore, WDSU News.
Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, they need to take her outside and send her right to the gallows or show her the flowers. Whichever preference she prefers. I tell you, a hard head make a soft ass. And man, look, this don't even get no better even talking about it. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. This is the way I look at some of these things. As far as I remember, being a thief was an undesirable term to be labeled. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wanted to be called a thief. You call a person a thief back in the day, they'll be ready to fight you or do something to you because nobody wanted to be known as somebody that you can't lead things around because they steal anything they can get their hands on. Nowadays, this is like the new norm. America has took a serious tilt on its axis, and it's nothing like it used to be. And part of the reason why is because of lawmakers and people making all these different things where they coddle criminals in the justice system. Whether it's letting them out early or giving them bond for some of the most heinous, violent offenses. You hear me? This woman right here destroyed the lives of 3 people. One of them is fighting for her life still. She's off of a breathing machine, but she still has a long way to go. At 21 years old, she mattered. Giselle and Samaj mattered. They didn't even get a shot at life as a young adult because somebody in their own selfishness that wanted to do wrong, been prosecuted before for doing stealing, still never learned a lesson. I don't know who came up with this idea that repeat offenders keep getting bonds and let out of jail, and with a slap on the wrist, this type of stuff will continue to happen. If it was up to me, you would go to jail. And if you went back to jail for the same offense, your ass is out of here. Because I'm going to tell you something. Society is the ones that suffer because the judicial system is not doing its job. Look at this. 3 girls. All of them, 2 of them dead. 1 of them is left. Not only does this girl, Paris Kuiper, have to deal with being upset about her own recovery and what happened to her, but the loss of her sister as well. That's a lot of pressure on one person, depression falling upon one person. And I hope Ms. Kuiper has people that are rallying around her. As dark as the times are right now. Think about it. You went and stole Gucci scarves for $3,500. Never get the same amount of money from them in the street. And even if you did, it still ain't worth the lives of them children. Did you see the car go airborne? Did you see the other vehicle? Let me see if I can find a picture here. Let me see if I can put it up there. That's the top of the vehicle. It looked like the other vehicle landed on the top or just went across the top of it when it hit him. How messed up is that to get a phone call that your daughter or daughters ain't coming home? And all the people can do is say, hey, we're sorry for your loss. Fuck that. Seriously. You want to do something, but you can't. And then you find out the person that did it has a history of stealing and doing stuff that put them in a position to take your loved one's life. Wasted potential. That's all this is about, wasted potential. There are people out here that do wrong, and to them it's the right thing, and they love to do the dumb shit they do. Whose fault is that? Every cause has an effect. And because you did this, the punishment should be that. And it seems like no real justice is out here. Seriously, no real justice. You can give her life in prison, but she still get to laugh, still get to eat, still get to steal in prison. They don't get a chance to do anything. Those were 3 women. They could have made a difference in society or gave birth to somebody that could have made a difference in society to make it better for you and me. And they'll never get that damn chance. Never get that chance. They were stealing, running from the police. Them Gucci scarves or whatever that shit you was that you stole was so important to you that you was willing to risk your life and your freedom, hell, and sacrifice the lives of other people that meant you no harm and you didn't even know, to achieve a little bit of nothing. Make it make sense. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.